Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News. And finally, it is here, guys. This here is the prediction video that I promised you guys. Of course, this will go out on members only, so you guys will get the first dibs. So here we go. I think that Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2. I think this fight will be a better fight. Okay, I think it would be a more competitive fight than last time for a lot of reasons. Why? Because Anthony Joshua has decided to do something that he hasn't done ever. He's decided to get rid of his main trainer. Okay, his primary trainer, Rob McCracken, is finally sacked. No love lost. He just got rid of him. Okay. And he's decided to get Robert Garcia. Now, Robert Garcia is a guy that is accustomed to pushing fighters to their limits or to make fighters more aggressive. And that could be a good asset. Then again, it couldn't. Okay, let me explain why it could or couldn't and can't. The good side of that is the people that want Anthony Joshua to come forward and be more aggressive and take more risk and, really bring the fight towards Oleksandr Usyk. I think if that's not the right game plan for Joshua, if he's not physically fit to do that, he's going to lose. Okay? Robert Garcia or not, if Joshua goes in there and fights a type of way that he hasn't prepared for, he hasn't conditioned for, he's in trouble in a big way. Why? Because a lot of people are expecting him to go in, and I've just posted a video that I've seen and of Joshua throwing 20 some odd combos, to the mitts and all that. And we've seen him, bam, bam, hitting and really ripping. But how many times can he realistically do that in that fight? How many times could he let those punches go and not feel the effects of those punches, that energy that he's just released? And then versus the energy that he released versus the success rate he had throwing those punches. He will have throwing those punches. So that's something you have to ask yourself. Now, you look over on the Usyk side, 35 years of age, 6'3", he's beat Joshua before. And the question about him is, how will the war, seeing what he saw, things he can't unsee, affect him in this rematch? Well, we've seen Usyk unlike any Usyk I've seen. So definitely, I think in a kind of a dark type of way. Because I don't see Usyk smiling at all like that. I see Usyk serious about what he wants to do. He's not joking around. He's not messing around. There's no punchline. It's just Usyk looking with this crazy 1,000-eyed stare or 1,000-yard stare, And that's the interesting thing about Usyk. We don't know how he would respond because he's never been in a situation like war. War changes you in a lot of ways. So here's what could happen in this fight. Usyk could come in based on what he's went through, based on the experiences that he recently had with war. He could go in with a mindset to obliterate Anthony Joshua. Now, it depends on if Anthony Joshua can capitalize on the over-aggressiveness of Oleksandr Usyk. Because Usyk comes in to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with Joshua and then some, and he's throwing these punches. Here's my thing. I don't see Oleksandr Usyk getting tired because I think he's conditioning for what he's expecting to do. That's the difference between Usyk and other fighters, that he has the one-up. He's training because he's going to use everything from his training to do what he's going to do in the ring. Now, with the added unnoticeable war over there, there's a chance Usyk can come in, hurt Joshua, and then get Joshua out of there. Here's another scenario. It's a chance that Usyk can go in there over aggressive and get caught with something big from Anthony Joshua as well, because he's too focused on the aggression and being aggressive and inflicting pain on Joshua due to something that doesn't have anything to do with Joshua, but Joshua is very much a part of now. And that's what happened to his country, what happened to his people, what happened to friends and families that he knows that has been drug off or killed. Those type of things affect people and they change people forever. I want people to understand that. That changes you forever. Now, does it happen in a good sense or a bad sense? Is it going to be like Mike Tyson, I'll bite your fucking ear off? Or will it just be like someone that has been sparked to do more damage in the next fight? So that could help Joshua, but then again, it could be Joshua's destruction, because especially if Joshua was not prepared to have an onslaught of punches like he was received to have tattooed by from Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk threw those shots, and Joshua, he was trying to get out of the way of those shots. Now he threw one, but that wasn't what he was supposed to do. He's supposed to throw with Usyk. Let Usyk know, like, yo, I'm there too. I'm gonna fight back. So if Robert Garcia can't bring that out of Joshua, then Robert Garcia won't do his job successfully, and it will be no use, because if mentally he gets hit and he's like a deer in the headlights, and the first thing he either does is put his dukes up, or he kind of tries to get out of the way, or, you know, and he forgets about the counter, that shows he has no control over what he's doing. That means what controlled him is apprehensiveness and fear from Joshua. So if Joshua does get hit with good shots and he does clam up, we know, well, okay, Robert can't really help him with that. Now, he could help him go to the body, which I'm sure that he's going to do more of. So it would be interesting to see what and how Usyk responds to more body shots landed on him from a bigger guy like Joshua. The fight's going to be massive. Okay. Now, we do know. What do we know? We know that Oleksandr has beat Joshua in a 12-round fight. We know that Anthony Joshua is better in the rematches, or he was better in the last rematch. Really, we don't know if he's better in rematches, because he's only fought one guy twice. This is the second guy, and the first guy he's fighting a rematch with beat him. We don't know if he's the comeback kid like he labels himself. We don't know that shit. We ain't going to know that until he comes back and actually beats Usyk. Then it's safe to say I've made a trend of avenging my losses. Okay? That's all you can really say about Joshua. Right? And we've seen he's more aggressive. We've seen him say these things and, you know, all that. But we don't know how he's going to be. So it's a lot of uncertainty from both guys. But I think it's safe to say if you were going to bet on anybody, it would be Usyk. Why? Because Usyk has the ability to beat Anthony Joshua, and an Anthony Joshua that wasn't damaged, that wasn't injured. You know what I mean? That, hey, he had a training camp, even though they said it wasn't a very good one, but he still was conditioned to go a certain amount of rounds, which he went 12 rounds. Okay, so I think Oleksandr Usyk has the ability to beat him, but that's not been said from Anthony Joshua. That's why I'm not picking him. Okay. You could say he's the comeback kid. Okay, says who? He just avenged the nearly 300-pound Andy Ruiz. If not, he probably was 300 pounds at the time, especially the rematch. He came in at 283. He could have ballooned up to 290, 295. So that's really not a great example, or not enough examples to know that he is a comeback kid. We know he's training like the Dickens. We know that, which he should be. He's fighting one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. So I would give it to Oleksandr Usyk, probably by stoppage this time, if Anthony Joshua runs out of gas. Okay. If Anthony Joshua beats Oleksandr Usyk, though, it would be from a punch that Usyk didn't see. And those are always the punches that get you out of there. And if he gets caught with a right uppercut, that's probably one that can take your head off. You better ask Vladimir Klitschko about that. Okay. So those are the two scenarios of that. But overall, I got Usyk winning from late stoppage, maybe 8th or 9th round, or Joshua catching Usyk because he's too aggressive, because he's living a fight in his mind that is not going on at the time, but it's still going on in his mind, and he's taking it out on Joshua and he's not on the battlefield, he's in the ring. And then he gets caught with something he doesn't see because he's not really where he needs to be. Okay. He's too engaged in doing certain things and not taking into account or consideration what could be coming back at him. Okay, so those are the two situations, guys. You guys tell me what you think of this prediction video between Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua, part 2. 2 times. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!